start. Don't worry. Got me
on the
excited,
offense.
though. I was excited. I was getting ready to
wrong map
explain escalation. I was getting ready to really get in there, man, and explain everything. No, I'm wrong. The game is underway. I was just kidding. It was a joke all along. Anyway, moving on. Obviously, escalation, as we mentioned, brand new game mode. To win a game of escalation, all you have to do is win 7 rounds. To win a round, you have to cap 3 hills on the map and accumulate points. First to 210 points, or capping all 3 hills will win the round.
Awesome, of course, and there is a twist. The losing team each round gets to place a weapon on the map in a designated weapon spot. They also have the option to block a slot as well.
Let's not forget, of course, the respawn timer starts at 10 seconds in round number 1, but increases by 2 seconds every round.
And that is, of course, till round number 7, which indicates halftime, where we get a new set of hills. All weapons are removed on the map, and the respawn timer resets back to 10 seconds.
Yep, but round number 1, you can see the scoreboard at the top left of your screens. Blue is going to be Allegiance in this one, and red will be Hazard as it stands. Hazard with the 2 hills to 1 advantage over Allegiance. A and B currently locked in, and because of that, you see them now with a 52 to 43 point lead. But we're going to be on board with Fragout, a player you said, Fallout, we have to keep our eyes out.
Without a doubt. Up on board with Fragout right now. He's going to be getting pressured here. Giraffe versus Strafey in a 1v1 opportunity. Fragout's going to rotate over, take that 2v1. Looks like Jerpy's in a good angle, though. Too little, too late, as his teammate Giraffe is going to get taken out. On board with Jerpy right now in a 1v1. He's about to be in a world of hurt as the cross is coming in.
And Jerpy just wisely backs away a little bit there. Didn't really want to overextend himself too much, but Excels will be putting down some good shots, and Jerpy actually stuck between a rock and a hard place. He will ultimately go down, but bear in mind, Hazard still do have control of that B hill. As it stands, 2 to 1 advantage. Detox now, though, springs into life, looking to try and cap that B hill. Has it at least neutral? Will he be able to actually lock down that full cap? It looks like he's being ambitious, and you can see why that pinch coming at the top of your screen on that mini-map. They're trying to play for that up-top control, and that was something, Fallout, you mentioned, so crucial on this map.
Yep, take a look at the score right now, 125 to 100, close matchup. Now Hazard is in control of the 2 cap. Of course, Hazard playing as the blue team or the COG team, and Allegiance playing as the Swarm team. Detox in a pretty tough spot right now. Looks like he's barely going to get his health back, but it's been such a tight match so far. A lot of pressure for the home and away hills.
Well, as it stands, Gwish now on your screens looking to try and pick up Detox. He will be able to do so. Now for the second over to his left, decides to ignore that one. Doesn't need to necessarily push too far for that. Has teammates in support here, and you can see those hills going back and forth right now, Fallout. Players desperately fighting for contention.
Yep, on board with Gwish right now. Fighting over that B-hill. This is going to be a big one. He's actually going to break the B-hill. Smart play. Recognizing he needs to break that B-hill while in a 1 versus 1, and he's going to get away with his life here. He needs to make a play, though, as the 3 cap is coming in. Can he make a play? No, he gets taken out, but the B-hill was finally broken by Shock of Allegiance. He gets taken out as well, and the Hazard squad off to a very good start here. They're going to secure a 3 cap. Of course, as I say that, the A-hill is actually going to be broken, and now a lead for Hazard, barely by about 15 points. As this round is going to come down to some great action.
Very barely indeed. 182 to 162, 20 points. As it stands right now, you're looking to the trip cap to try and bring this deficit back. Jerpy looking to see if he can make his way over towards that C hill. Can he keep Allegiance's dreams alive? The A and B hill are being capped. C's being decapped as well now. This could be that chance they needed, Fallout.
Oh my goodness, 8 points is all that's needed. Excel is going to go big with the kill. So does Detox as well. 1 hill grab is all that's needed for this Hazard squad. It looks like they're going to secure C, and now it looks like they're just going to try and defend this 1 cap hill, and they are going to come on top with a good round start here. Excels and Fragout on your screen, on camera right now. Very good start from Hazard.
Yeah, let me tell you, they're getting loud, getting very loud. But that was a good win for them.
It was.
If you remember, I do want to point out during rehearsal, did I not call that they would win round 1? Did I?
Are you sticking to it?
I'm gonna stick to it.
So you call that they're going to win round 1. Allegiance is going to win the next 7.
Yes.
I love the confidence.
Bold prediction.
The bold prediction.
But I said it, so I have to stick with it.
There you go.
You know, I'm a man of my word. Of course, Hazard now 1-0 up. As we go into weapon placement now. And this is that new dynamic that we talked about. The losing team each round will have an option to put down a weapon on the map. And what are you thinking first round here?
Yeah, typically you go with kind of a passive block, and it looks like that's exactly what Allegiance is going to do here. They're not going to give Excels the opportunity to get a secondary weapon in his hands. He, of course, is so powerful with the marks, so with the retro, etc. So by blocking that out, they block the opportunity for Excels to pick that up. I believe he is playing home for his team. We'll double check and verify that in a bit. But a good start from Hazard here.
Worth mentioning, Fragout really playing strong. 7 kills in the first round alone. Looking very good indeed. And there, look at the overhead as well. But we're going to kick things off on board with Rezik now. He's going to have 2 players up top. Is he going to be able to try and win the engagement? No, not going to happen for Rezik. Unfortunately, he will fall. It was Jerpy that cleaned him up, and already 3 kills in their favor. And it's looking very good for them to potentially try and cap that mid-neutral hill. That B hill can be so tough at times if you don't have that up top control.
Oh, Excel's showing some good movement right now. He's going to get taken out. A good initial strategy from Allegiance. I got to say, they ran a mirrored strat, 2 up top for both teams, and it was Jerpy that had a huge kill to give themselves the advantage. He then played wide and played slow. I like the initial from Allegiance. They're going to get a 2-cap here as a reward.
Now, quick perspective of Strafey, of course, one of the players from Hazard. You see him just on that A hill, waiting to see if he can at least put down a couple of shots. You can see as well, thanks to that X-ray, exactly where his teammates are going to be located. Wish mid-map. It doesn't look like Strafey's going to be able to take that fight. Meanwhile, they're over to his right-hand side. I believe that's actually Giraffe. This could be a quick push over towards Giraffe. This is a 3 versus 1. You expect them to win it, and they do with relative ease. It's going to be Rezik that cleans up that kill. And now, can they spring into life and try and overextend towards the enemy's home hill?
Yeah, you know, I like that mid-round call right there by Hazard. Very well done. They noticed they lost the initial, so they over-flooded the away hill towards Seaside, pushed with 3 or 4 people. Now they're going to get away and home hill control. I mean, that's really what escalation comes down to. It's 3 things. 1, your initial strategy, getting initial control. If you win that, it's about setting up. If you lose that, it's about putting together a break strategy or a mid-round push, just like we saw Hazard do right there. I like the away hill push, and now 2 hills to their name. They're going to try and get their lead back in about 30 seconds.
And there, look, of course, at that overhead, you can see the B hill. That's going to be Allegiance's only hill that's currently in their possession, as opposed to Hazard, who have both those home hills. A and C currently locked in, and because of that, Hazard now trying to chip away at the early but very small Allegiance lead so far in round number 2. And it's worth mentioning as well, our respawns did go up, as we mentioned, 2 seconds. So we're at 12-second respawns this round.
Yeah, well said. We saw Hazard put together a good break strategy. Let's see what Allegiance is going to do here. Overhead map is showing you. It's actually going to be Hazard that is putting the pressure by stepping on the gas pedal, pushing Kraz, taking out Kraz here. I like the aggression here from Hazard. Can they pick up another kill? It's going to be Excels that does it. Double kill for Excels. He gets the revive to suit as well, and now it's going to be Frag out. Big 1 versus 1 right now. Can he come out on top in that one? He's going to back roll, realizing, hey, I have a teammate support. All I need to do is take out my pistol. He's going to get that kill.
Nicely done. Cleans it up and stays on the C hill. Of course, this is the enemy's home hill here for all that.
It
so
is.
He's really taking the fight to Allegiance, it's fair to say. Meanwhile, you can see on that C hill that has been now neutralized. Jerpy on your screens from Allegiance. He's going to turn around. Is he going to be able to get the pick on Strafey? Both players go down, but Excel should be there to not only clean up the kill, but also revive his teammate. In actual fact, he just said, hey, you can tap up off that one. Don't even worry about it. But the hills, again, currently being just contested and recaptured. Hazard now with A and B control. I mean, I think they actually do need to neutralize C here as well. They don't necessarily need to cap it, but they need to put the pressure on Allegiance, and that pressure could come in form of Excels, just bouncing left and right. Beautiful movement coming from him.
Yep, and look at the wall that he has to fight. It's going to be all up to Detox. He takes out
on
one.
it.
Can Detox get the double kill? He gets the break here.
Detox,
It's going to help them. The cap is going to come in. No, it's Strafey with
there.
the huge double kill. And just like that, Hazard with a 3 cap, they're going to do it. They win the round. Beautiful plays right there by Hazard.
I didn't call that.
Your prediction looked good the entire round. I mean, I'll give it to you.
That was just a beautiful, beautiful closing moment there from Hazard. I mean, they did everything right for that. They recognized they needed to put the pressure on. Excels didn't waste any time. First one into the hill, recognized he was weak. He was most likely going to die. But the trades came through from his teammates, and that was what enabled them to get that capture right at the very end. Just a beautifully executed round there from Hazard.
Yeah, without a doubt. And you know what? Breaking down the entire round, you saw Allegiance win the initial. They should have been able to set up. They should have been able to maintain control. But from the get-go, Hazard bounced right back with a punch to the face by pushing the away hill. Good mid-round break, and we're able to kind of regain control, regain some points after that. Well done by Hazard, and now decision to make. It looks like it's going to be an M-bar in the hands of Jerpy. I like that place.
And that makes a lot of sense as well, considering Allegiance, you know, they were winning that up-top fight. The past couple of rounds, that opening strat that you mentioned, they've been the upper hand almost. So you expect them, hey, let's give ourselves an extra tool, an added utility that we can potentially use later on in the round as well. I mean, it is going to be that M-bar control tower. So realistically, this opening strat now is going to be even more important because of just how much emphasis on control tower. I mean, you have the furnace button, now there's M-bar up there, and you have the B hill just underneath you. I mean, you have to be playing control tower.
Yeah, very well said. And the last piece of that puzzle is this man right here, Jerpy. He's always been known to be a great power weapon player. He actually, his teammate Squish is going to get taken out. All up to Jerpy. It's going to be Kraz with the rotation, but Strafey gets one. He gets a double kill. Strafey, call him Mr. Double Kill. He did the same thing last round, and it's going to be Hazard that wins the initial and gets an M-bar to suit.
Yes, Detox is going to have that in his back pocket. Detox already found a kill, and Strafey as well springs into life. That's going to be the B hill under Hazard control. I mean, I don't want to necessarily call it an upset, but the Hazard boys have come out to play, trying to prove all of their critics wrong, and I'll be the first one to hold my hand up and say, hey, I underestimated these these guys because they are playing very well. Detox finds Kraz. Can he find the second? He's looking, but the pressure is coming through for Hazard. Hazard there knocking on the Allegiance front door, looking to lock in that trip cap and close out round number 3.
Yep, and smart play right there. I like Detox's rotation back to B. He went to check if anyone was there, and he was able to pick up an M-bar kill by rotating back to C, recognizing, hey, no one slipped away to B here. I can go help my teammates, and there comes the 3 cap again. Hazard off to a good start, 3-0 right now.
And let me tell you, the Hazard boys are getting loud, and they are making sure Allegiance know they're not playing very well to start off this map. That's for sure.
And this was the discussion all day long has been around Group D. Allegiance expected to sweep this 3-0, and everyone thought this Allegiance squad that has had a lot of hype throughout the Gears Pro Circuit would really win this with ease. But Hazard, all 5 of them are so highly skilled, and that's what you're seeing the difference be. Excels has stepped up. Strafey has stepped up. Fragout has got, I think, has at least 8 or 9 kills. All members of Hazard playing very, very well right now. You saw what Detox did with the M-bar as well.
It's almost like the sleeper group, right? Yeah. You didn't expect it to be interesting, but you kick it off first game of the day. Next thing you know, the team you think is going to 3-0 finds himself, ironically, 3 rounds down in map number 1. Of course, for weapon placement, it's Allegiance once again, and they're putting their tools down. The map is exactly how they want it to be at this point because they've lost every round. I mean, you expect them to, at some point, really, really try and just take control of this map.
Yep. And so let's see. Initials have been kind of traded off. We saw Allegiance win the initial in round 2. Hazard won it in round 3. Hammerverse placed here, as mentioned, and it's going to be more of the same here. Looks like 3 up top, actually, for both teams. No, 3 up top for Allegiance, 2 up top for Hazard.
Well, Hazard playing a bold game, but we're going to be on board with Rezik. And you can see they're just hugging that M-bar, not letting anyone from Allegiance sneak through. Of course, the smokes did go down. Rezik just being such a sneaky nuisance. In actual fact, Detox is going to say, all right, don't mind if I do, fellas. I'm going to take that M-bar. Can he try and line up a shot cross-map? Not going to happen for now. And the early picks have gone Allegiance's way. Do bear that in mind. That's 2 plays from Hazard down. They could be in threat of getting trip capped here. Allegiance springing to left. They say, we don't even want M-bar. Take it. We're going to play for the trip cap.
Beautiful round by Allegiance. They actually ran a fake 3 up top,
that
sent 3 up there, smoked it out, and you saw Hazard just waiting for them to run through the smoke, immediately rotated low side, and guess what? The strat was to win the 2v1 at the away hill. I love that strat call, and that goes to show one leader, one strat call just snuck them around. That was a free round, basically, how easy
sneaky.
That was.
You're keeping 40% of Hazard's resources in Control Tower doing nothing. They're so worried about the pushes coming through smoke. By the time they realize what's happening, you can already hear the trip cap coming through. A fantastic, fantastic round from Allegiance. Now, though, Hazard first time so far of this map on weapon placement. What's going to be their decision?
Yep, you know, the weapon has already been blocked out. They only have 1 area on the map. Sorry, 2 areas in the map in which they can place a weapon. If I'm Hazard, I don't want to do anything crazy. I don't want to put down a boom shot or anything because we're winning the rounds here, and it looks like they're going to do exactly that. They're only going to put down nades, something that's pretty passive over by the Incinerator side. Smart decision right there by Hazard. And again, a good round by Allegiance, but guess what? They needed a strategy, something crazy out of the trick bag to do it. Can they win through a full round? We'll see here how it breaks down.
And it's going to be interesting to see how Hazard actually react to that now. If those smokes come out and they do get control of M-bar, do they just grab it straight away now? Do they push through the smoke? Do they push into that Allegiance spawn? So many questions. Well, we'll find our answers out right now. Jerpy on your screen from Allegiance. This time they say, hey, no, we're going to fight this. We're not afraid of Hazard at all. Jerpy is going to find the first one. That's going to be against Rezik. Jerpy looking for the second. Detox is there to clean up, but Detox has been just locking down this M-bar so well. It's now a 2 versus 2. He tries to help his teammate. Is he going to be able to find Gwish? Gwish just bouncing back and forth. Strafey finds it now a 2 versus 1. Detox looks to close out this fight in Control Tower, but whilst all this has happened, Shock's rotated as well. Kraz wins the early 1v1. Kraz and Shock 2 versus 1 against Strafey. You can see just how much emphasis both these teams are putting on Control Tower.
Kraz just made a huge play in a 1 versus 2. He took out 1, he backrolled, he stayed alive, waited for his teammate to rotate. That is so well done by Kraz right there. Meanwhile, it looks like Rezik picks up a kill on Shock at the home hill. So despite his efforts, it's 2 cap in the hands of Hazard thanks to a good opening push from Excels.
And once again, you can see Hazard with B and C hill control, and Excels playing peekaboo right around the corner. Gwish will go down, and Hazard, they're not afraid to take the fight to Allegiance's base. They're really, really just running at them, essentially, for lack of a better word. And Allegiance not really coping too well on that side of the map, playing for those home hills. Finally, Jerpy able to find himself a kill. That's going to be on Detox. He's now looking over towards that C hill as well. I mean, you do still have plenty of time. Of course, the respawns are getting up there here in round 5. It's going to be 18 seconds this round, so you do have to play your life a little bit more. But Jerpy, no, he's not afraid. He's going to jump on that C hill and at least get the neutral.
Yep, he's going to try and stay alive here. Going to get finally taken out. And I was going to say, expect for Allegiance to push the C hill, but the way that they did it, you saw Hazard do it so well before. Really, it was Jerpy completely by himself in that situation. He got crossed, but finally, looks like he's going to be able to get control of that C hill, but they did lose their A hill as a result.
And that was a little unfortunate. Team kill did come through there. That may have just cost them that hill, but we'll have to wait and see because A and B still controlled by Hazard. So looking at the points at the top left of your screen, it's looking pretty for Hazard. 136 to 83 point lead and growing. Finally, the B hill neutral. Of course, there is still plenty of time for Allegiance Fallout. They don't need to hit the panic button just yet. You have plenty of time to try and get a couple of team pushes coming through. You're not at that trip cap domination stage just yet.
Yep, on board right now. Kraz in a 1v1 against Fragout. Going to get hit with a brick full Reddit. He gets taken out by Fragout. Good job by him in the 1 versus 1 shotgun fight. And now B Hill is going to be grabbed by Hazard. Look at the deficit, 60 points right now for Allegiance. They're going to have to put together something miraculous to be able to secure a 3 cap to win this round.
Yes, they will. Look at that A hill. You can see players from Allegiance coming off spawn, recognizing, all right, now we are getting to that point where a trip cap is going to be pretty handy there as well. Look at the overhead. I mean, do you play for Control Tower here? Do you have time to play for Control Tower Fallout, or do you have to just hit that B hill and pray that you cap it?
Yeah, you have to push for that B hill. So it looks like rather than going for the home away push, they decided to go for B hill first, and we're hoping that they can get some kills at B hill, which would allow them to push the C hill as well. Didn't work out very well for them, as it looks like Hazard was ready with a line of defense at that B hill, and they're going to be able to secure the round win with a 210 point mark.
Another great round. I mean, we've seen a lot of things coming from Hazard, the aggression, the trip caps, but that was just a solid round where Hazard are basically saying, hey, we don't need to play that fancy style. We can more than happy to absorb the pressure, play the kills, and just play the points. That's exactly what we saw. Now 4-1 up. I mean, if they go 5-1 up at the half, bear in mind this is Allegiance's map pick as well. They picked Forge. They said, we don't have a bad map anymore. We're good at all maps. Well, Hazard didn't get that memo.
That is for sure. And, you know, to your point about how they won the round by setting up, by winning by points, it's like kind of like Team Envious. You see Team Envious do such a good job at winning the initial and not necessarily just pressing the gas pedal for the trip cap. They know when to hold their 2 cap and when to push for the triple cap. Hazard doing something very similar to that last round. I like the decision just to set up. It looks like now it's going to be Ensigns that are placed. So frags and Ensigns and an M-bar will be all the weapons placed in our last round of the half.
And bear in mind, if you do play for those Ensigns on that B hill, you can just throw them straight up into Control Tower. And anyone's trying to get that M-bar could potentially find yourself an easy pick. But you can't give away Control Tower, so you're left to make those decisions. And that's what makes Gears of War just such a fantastic game mode there. Of course, a look at our overhead. How is this one going to play out? It looks like we're going to have a 2v1 in Allegiance's favor for Ensigns, which means they do not have the numerical advantage up top. And you can see Jerpy immediately backs away, recognizing that. But Detox has grabbed the M-bar, and I don't think those Ensigns were actually used up top Control Tower. If they were, they missed.
Yep, so it looks like Allegiance decides to put a little more priority on the Ensigns over the M-bar, giving the M-bar to Detox. We'll see if that pays off here. I'm not sure what they can do with those Ensigns just yet. I think the plan was to grab Ensigns, rotate them up top to where the M-bar spawns, but unfortunately Jerpy and crew were not able to hold them off long enough to rotate those Ensigns.
And I feel like you can't do that. You've had so many rounds now. You've had 5 rounds. You know how Hazard play it. If they get control of M-bar, they're going to pick it up. Like, they're not just going to sit there and wait. Even when you outsmarted them almost with the smoke strat, they still had the M-bar in their hand. They're not afraid of picking it up very, very quickly. Detox finds Giraffe. Now M-bar out in hand. Can he find the second? Of course, this is a 20-second respawn round. As soon as you give these Hazard boys just the slightest opportunity, they're going to try and close the door. The kill's all in their favor. That's going to be 3. That's going to be 4 players down. Kraz, last man alive. The Sea Hill's already being capped. That is going to be a trip cap domination to close out the final round of the first half. This has been all Hazard.
Without a doubt. Unbelievable play right there. And to your point, 20-second respawn rounds. They realize that, and I love how they take their numbers. They got the first kill. They recognize, hey, we have a 5-on-4. We can take this 2v1 over at the Sea Hill, and they use their numbers to their advantage to gain map control, gain the 3 cap control, and you saw what happened as a result. 5-1 going into our second half. So now, second half gameplay going into it. Allegiance down 5-1.
I mean, you have to think, obviously, going into the second side, our hills will be flipped, of course. We have new hills, respawns back down to 10, and all weapons have been removed from the map. But for Allegiance, they have a huge mountain to climb now. This is not going to be easy. You could argue, all right, well now, you know, for Allegiance, who controlled that control tower so well in the early rounds, you could play those home hills, but the later rounds of that first half, it was all Hazard up top control. They just, to be honest, made it look simple. So I'm even more worried for Allegiance because of exactly that. Rezik just flying through, finds Gwish. I mean, the man's on a mission today.
I need to just reiterate how clutch that was. Rezik had 2 of his teammates die, turned around, pressed the button in the control tower to pick up a kill across the map on the E-hill, which didn't allow Allegiance to cap that hill, and then was able to get a kill and stay alive. And can he save his team? It excels now. Sorry, that's Strafey. Strafey's going to get up and is also going to survive here. Huge plays by Rezik. Very well done.
Does go down again, but Rezik, he's in a good position here. If he wanted to, he can pick his teammate up. Meanwhile, this is the E-hill. This was the fight. And of course, control tower, again, so important because of that button. The incinerator button is now basically the E-hill. So it can be so tough to cap if you do not have control of that control tower. As Shock now on your screens, looking to try and make some plays. Currently sitting with 8 kills, 6 downs, 183 seconds dead.
Yeah.
And
Shock,
does
of
have those
course,
2 caps, 3 breaks.
added to this roster, expected to fill a role as that 5th important Slayer. Huge, great shotgun player. He, of course, replacing Yogurt, who is a little bit more of a support player, kind of an overall player. So we'll see what type of impact he makes here at this event.
As it stands, it's currently going to be 88 points to 76 in favor of Allegiance. They do have that 2-to-1 hill advantage as well. D&E currently locked in. This is a map where you do tend to see those home hills played. Very, very easy once you control that control tower just to rotate between the hills. As it stands up, Kraz trying to get out there. D-Hill is going to be capped, so for Hazard, they will be able to do exactly that. But there's 3 players from Allegiance who are going to try and prevent this push coming through. Still on board with Kraz, and you can just see all 3 players there in X-Ray from Hazard just kind of scurry away. They're just like, we got it, we're out, we're out.
That is great play right there. They recognize, hey, we don't need to win this fight because Rezik's winning the fight on the other side of the map here. Let's take E-Hill instead. Let's use this D-Hill as a proxy to win E-Hill control. I love that play right there. The communication across the map between Rezik and Fragout and his teammates across map was just on point. Well done by Hazard.
Classic little bit of bait there. You force the opposition to almost break their own setup as they rotate back towards our home hill. But now the fight goes up top. Strafey turns around. He finds one. Detox has also found Jerpy as well. And that's going to be 3 players dead, 4 players dead. Kraz immediately coming off spawn. They're going to put the pressure on the trip cap. Not sure if they're necessarily going to get it, as Giraffe just got a big, big double up in control tower. But the hill's halfway capped. Is he going to be able to get there in time? Teammates are trying to cover the cap, and they actually get the trip cap there. Crazy, crazy round. I mean, you think for a minute he's going to break that hill, break the trip cap, but almost a little bit distracted, it felt like.
Yeah, so well played. I mean, it came down to one individual play by Giraffe getting a double kill that maybe could have kept him alive. Overall, you feel that Allegiance is just trapped. You saw how Hazard pushed the away hill, held that D hill, and was able to hold control. And again, using it as a proxy to back out, letting their teammates take a 2v1 on the other side of the map. As soon as they won that 2v1, they took their 5-on-4 numbers advantage to take that D hill again. So well played by Hazard. I'm seeing so many great things, led by, of course, Excels on this team.
6-1 in favor of Hazard. Not many people will have expected that, tuning in for the first time here at the Atlantic City Open. Now, of course, weapon placement. It's going to be the Embar again. Familiar territory. We saw it in Control Tower in the first half of gameplay. Now in the second half as well, it's going to be exactly where it was. Both teams kind of know what to expect, right? You've already played 6 rounds with it up there, so hey, why not play another 5?
Exactly. A lot of emphasis and importance on the Control Tower fight. Both teams feel confident in that area. Jerpy and crew have won a couple of the fights up there. They ran a couple trick strats. But keep in mind, the only round that they won was when they pulled that trick strat out of their bag. They haven't been able to really win a round.
That's true.
Through a full, well-played execution.
In terms of just your heads-up gameplay, you're being outclassed right now. I think it's fair to say. Hazard really trying to make a point here. The first day of our UGC Atlantic City Open. Jerpy now on your screens from Team Allegiance, and that's a nice way to kick off your run with the Embar. The headshot on Strafey, looking for more, and you can see just the way Allegiance are rotating around the map, almost like a wolf pack. Wow. Look at that little blue arrow scurrying away and excels. You sneaky, sneaky man. Can he find a double for his sneaky efforts? Yes, he can. Beautifully played. I mean, you were pointing at the screen violently, like, look at him go. So unbelievably sneaky. In Allegiance's spawn, he will go down, but damage done from Excels. Was he able to buy his teammates enough time? A quick look at that top left of your screen. You can see the E-Hill still controlled by Hazard, but DNF completely neutralized.
Yep, so well played. You saw maybe a tiny, tiny sliver of Excels in the spawn there and saw that coming. He gets a double kill, which gives him an opportunity for a 2-cap. Now a 30-point lead in favor of Hazard, and that's only going to be growing. So I'm looking for Allegiance now to put together a mid-round break. Are they going to push D-Hill, or are they going to try and go for E-Hill control? Looks like it's going to be Gwish by himself here, so it's going to be the E-Hill push coming in from Allegiance. 4 members of them down there.
And at this point, you need some momentum from somewhere. You need someone just to string together a couple of kills, string together a double, string together a triple. You don't need Excels doing that, though. That's going to be an issue with your Allegiance. 3 players go down. Excels on your screens, looking to find another one. He has 22 kills and 4 downs to his name. Looking to find the third. The trip cap domination coming through, and that is going to be Hazard winning map number 1 to kick off the day. Hey, I got the score right. I got the 7-1 right. It was just the wrong way round. Don't worry about it. Yoda's still in the house.
This Hazard squad, man, I think a lot of people were sleeping on this group. A lot of people thought this group would be clean swept by Allegiance, but if you look at the rosters, not only just Hazard, but Grim, the other team in this group, there are some bright, shining stars on each of these teams, and it really showed there. Strafey was a guy we didn't talk a lot about in the pregame, but so well played by him as well.
It was a beautiful match number 1, and you can see the celebrations from Hazard. It's not over yet, though. You have to win another map, of course. You have to make sure you win the best of 3. Don't get too excited. And I guess that brings up the question, how much of this game in particular, this matchup, is a mental game for some of these guys? A lot of players, specifically Excels, with a big point to prove. Of course, previous member of United dropped, kind of had to scurry together a team, and it seems like, well, he's found a pretty good team right now.
I think so. Excels just makes an impact on every team he is on. He really, in so many ways, individually, he makes plays. As a leader, he becomes the shot caller and the captain of almost every team he is on. And he's just a player that you can never rule out. Whatever team he's on, you can expect him just to elevate and make better.
As we mentioned, of course, this Hazard squad, many will have slept on. But for now, let's learn a little bit more about Hazard.
We have 5 of the top players in the game on the same team.
We have an easy ride into championship bracket, and then we just got to keep our momentum and play together, have confidence.
If we all stay focused and, on our grind in this tournament, we should place #1.
I would like the community to know how much of a mistake Gosu Crew made.
This event, I'm solid, this team is solid, and I feel like we're going to make some noise.
But a little bit there about Hazard, of course. Some of these players, many in the community will recognize, but some of the newer viewers out there, they may not be necessarily too similar with some of these names, but some big names on this roster, it's worth mentioning, and when they come out and they perform like that, you can see why.
Exactly. Rezik is another player on this team that we don't talk a lot about. He's been playing and competing since Gears Ultimate Edition. Really broke his way onto the scene on Goon Squad at MLG Columbus back in July of last year, and ever since, he's been really doing good things. You saw him with Gosu Crew back at Mexico City, placing top 8, and he's looking to improve upon that placing at this event. Very good first map, good showing so far.
Of course, we mentioned the map series earlier on. We were kicking things off with Forge. That was a good win for them. Now heading over to Lift as our map number 2. And then Foundation, if it does go the distance, but I have to ask you, Fallout, is there any way Allegiance can kind of get some momentum back? I mean, yes, okay, you only lost 1 map, but you got 7-1.
Yeah.
The only round you won, as you mentioned, was quote-unquote a trick strat, because it kind of was, right? You kind of outplayed and you outfought, but you weren't able to win those head-to-head fights. Can Allegiance come back into this, or is this going to be a 2-0 to start the day?
Yeah, I mean, they're deflated right now. If I'm looking at the Allegiance squad, I want to see someone getting them hyped. I know this team just feeds off of energy anytime we've had a chance to see them before, especially London, especially Columbus, those 2 events where they performed very well. It was all energy. Kraz was screaming, getting his team hyped up. You don't see that right now. And you look at that, look at the faces right now, just deflated across the board. Not one of them saying a word. It's possible. I've seen it happen before. You just get destroyed in 1 map, and you're able to bounce back really well in round number 2, but not like that.
It's been a common theme throughout this season on the circuit where, in terms of the bans and the picks, whoever's picked map number 1 has lost it, and then whoever picked map number 2 lost it. It's like teams are picking their maps and losing their maps. It doesn't make much sense.
Yep.
So I'm curious
possible.
to see if that theme continues here in Atlantic City. But as it stands, Allegiance definitely have a pretty big mountain to climb here in Atlantic City. 7-1 in map number 1. Hazard, a team many really would have slept on, definitely out here to prove a very big point. Is it